Okay, today is January the 4th, 2020, and right now at 8:10 p.m. we have a temperature of 49 degrees here in the foothills of Los Angeles. The relative humidity is 65%. The dew point is 38 degrees, and we have a barometric pressure of 30.21 inches. We've got a tropical flow moving right into California. This has been the pattern for the past 4 days. This should be delivering rain to California. This is a moisture field. Should be delivering rain. Let's go ahead and look at the IR map next. We can see that fairly deep moisture moving right in over central and southern California. All right, and so this moisture field should be delivering rain to California. The reason we're not getting any rain, let's look at the Doppler map here real quick. We've got a 12-hour loop showing up. And we can see there's just nothing going on in central or southern California. The reason for that is the heavy aerosol chemtrail spraying. Now, if you look at the MODIS Today map, I'll show the map. This is actually the map for the 29th, December 29th. This website has not produced a West Coast map since the 29th. So I'm showing what the the most current map, which was the 29th. We can see the differences in what the aerosols look like. We see these gray, hazy trails. We can see the haze. We can also see the natural clouds. The brilliant white is the natural clouds. We can see some of that development out here over the ocean. This is the Palos Verdes Peninsula and Los Angeles area right here. A lot of aerosol chemtrail haze right out here over the Southern California area back on the 29th. Now, the same conditions have existed pretty much from the 1st all the way up through the 4th. We can see all that haze. And so for the new subscribers, this is the color satellite map. It's MODIS Today. It's called MODIS Today. You can find it on the internet, MODIS Today, and it shows the color satellite maps day by day for different regions around the country. But for some reason, the last photograph we had for the West Coast was on the 29th. So there it is. Let's go ahead and look at some of these other maps. We have once again water vapor moving into California and Oregon, yet there is just no precipitation. Even up in the Oregon area here, we see not much going on, where the bulk of that moisture is showing up right here. Now notice what's going on right over here, over Montana, Wyoming, Colorado. Look what's happening here. We have high pressure being installed. Let's go ahead and look at what's happening again here on the western U.S., or rather the pressure maps. We can see the surface sea level pressure map right over this area is showing a lot of squiggly isobars. There's a lot of manipulation going on, as shown here on this surface level pressure map, as a result of the high pressure being installed by the weather controllers. So we've got some developing weather, and that's all being manipulated. We can see also from the 300, let's go back to the 500 millibar map, we see the squiggly lines, the squiggly isobars over that area, indicating manipulation of the atmospheric, the manipulation of the atmosphere at 18,000 feet based on this map. The 300 millibar map, same thing. So the 500 and the 300 are very similar. We see a lot of squiggly isobars over these states. So if we go back to the satellite map, the water vapor map, we can see what's happening. We've got developing system moving down through the middle section of the country, and we see all that high pressure being installed. Now right here we have a developing gale right offshore of California. This is a developing gale. If we go to the this is the surface analysis map, and we can see right over here, right near California, they have a developing gale indicated with a couple of low pressures centered right over California. So we have a developing gale moving in, And we have, as I mentioned in the previous video, we have high winds scheduled for tomorrow, Sunday, starting at around noon, is when this whole event is scheduled to unfold. Now let's go look again at the western U.S. map, and we can see that developing gale right there. We have something trying to spin counterclockwise. That's a developing low, but we don't see much rotation here because there's high pressure. We can see that dark area all through here, separating this colder North Pacific moisture from mixing up with this tropical flow, which is coming out of the tropics. Let's go ahead and look at the Northeast Pacific map. We can see that more clearly. So this is the Hawaiian Islands down here. We have the grid on. We can see most of this moisture is coming right out of those latitudes along the 20-degree north latitude line. So we've got all this warmer moisture streaming in, and we have this blockade of high pressure. This is a man-made blockade. The weather controllers are in charge of our weather. They've been controlling our weather for many, many years, probably close to 3 decades now. And so we can see this developing gale right here. This is a low pressure system that is being squashed. That's why we're not seeing any rotation. Notice the rotation over here. This is a storm right here. Notice the counterclockwise rotation. That's what should be happening over here. And right down here we have another little system trying to spool up. And notice the clockwise rotation here. We've got high pressure installed north of Hawaii, and we've got high pressure all out over here. And look at the bow in this moisture field. This is all having to wrap around, and this whole area is blockaded with stationary high pressure. Now, if we look at the infrared map for the Northeast Pacific, notice what's happening here. We have a vortex. This is the lowest pressure point of that developing storm right there. But yet this moisture is blockaded from getting into that low pressure vortex. We can see that right here. There's a big channel that is indicated there, and that is where the manipulation is occurring. There's a blockade right here preventing this moisture from getting into that vortex. So this little developing storm is being carefully throttled and manipulated. We have a dry area here. That's evidence of transmitter manipulation. These are space-based transmitters that are beaming down microwave energy right into that system and modulating the pressure. They're controlling the pressure and also the how much water vapor is allowed to flow into that vortex. Anytime we have low pressure, you should see a lot of condensation around that and a lot of rotation. That's not what we're seeing. We have some rotation here, nothing over here where this developing gale is occurring right there. There should be some rotation there. So we can see that blockade from that satellite transmitter manipulation. Higher pressure always flows to lower pressure right there. So let's go ahead and look at the surface analysis map. We can see that is a right here, right along the 180-degree longitudinal line right there, 180 degrees. We have this storm indicated 994 millibar. That's going to be moving to the east right here, developing storm right there. So here it is. You see the rotation. And as I mentioned, tomorrow we've got winds, high winds up to 65 miles per hour forecasted for the Southern California mountains. That's going to be from this system trying to move in and deliver some rain. They'll have a transmitter on that. We can see that evidence right there. So the high pressure spins clockwise, the low pressure tries to spin counterclockwise, and as a result you get a pressure gradient which spits the wind out to the south in this situation here. If they place the high pressure on the opposite side, the wind goes the opposite direction. So these people can control our weather. They've been doing this. And of course, once again, that's the reason why the fake news media, ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN, Fox, and all the rest of them, MSNBC, They show the cartoon animated maps to the public, and the people watching don't understand what's going on because they don't know any better. They don't watch the weather. And so we have the jet stream map here. We can see we've got jet stream flow right into California, but no precipitation whatsoever because of the heavy aerosol chemtrail spraying going on. And we can see that here in this Doppler image. There's zero precipitation pretty much. There was a little bit of rain and snow near the Tahoe area earlier today. Okay, so that's the report. Here's the this is the swell report. We can see right up here we've got 20-foot swells, and we've got 5-footers out here and some 6-foot swells moving into the Southern California area. So we'll keep an eye on things and try to get more frequent reports. I've got my desk cleaned off partially, so I've got enough room to move the mouse around. All right, so there it is. There's our rain. The past 4 days, we're not getting any. The weather controllers have the spigot off, and the mainstream media continues to ignore what's going on. They're ignoring it and covering up the fact that carbon dioxide has nothing to do with what is being shown on these maps. We've got the timed aerosol spraying coinciding with the incoming moisture on a no rain forecast. So those dots are real easy to connect, and everybody should be writing letters to the news, the fake news, but not only that, but to your local congressman and whoever else you want to talk to. Okay, that's it. We'll just we'll leave it right here. That's it.